When it comes to overall range and efficiency, the Nexo has been doing very well here. We bought the limited version of the Nexo, which has the shortest range. This is a little bit over 350 miles of range on a full tank of hydrogen. And we've been averaging about 370 miles or so based on what the trip computer and the range estimates are all telling us here. The car now has 162 miles on the odometer. You can see we still have 277 miles of hydrogen left, and we're driving from Ventura up to Santa Barbara, and now we're headed up the coast. So we're here in Santa Barbara. The distance between Santa Barbara and San Jose is a little under 300 miles, so we are going to need to top up the hydrogen fuel cell tank. It says that we have about 250 miles of range, not quite enough to get us to San Jose. So let's go ahead and do that here. Connect it, pull up the handle just like a regular gas handle, and then we press the grade. We want True Zero H70M. And there we go. Hopping back in the car, you can see the display now says we have 372 miles of range. This does appear to be an adaptive fuel range score right here. We are in the limited trim, which gets the shorter range of about 355 miles or so. If you get the blue trim, you get 380 miles. And based on our driving, we should be getting somewhere between those two EPA ratings. One thing that this trip has really highlighted for me that I didn't think about initially when comparing this to something like a long-range EV is how quickly you can fill this tank when it's about 80 or 90% full all the way to 100% full versus what we see in a battery electric vehicle. A lot of folks don't think about that. Yes, you can gain range very, very quickly in something like a brand new Model 3 or even some of the other EVs out there like the brand new Audi e-tron or a Jaguar I-Pace if you can find stations that support those fast charge rates for the Jaguar and the Audi. Unquestionably, you can do that in a Tesla. But that last 5%, that last 10%, or even the last 20% of the battery, that's going to happen an awful lot slower. Meanwhile, over here in the fuel cell vehicle, when we stopped in Santa Barbara, we still had about 80% of the capacity of this hydrogen tank left. We just plugged it into the hydrogen station. We filled it all the way up to 100%. It took about 4 or 5 minutes or so, and we were back on the road. We're coming in close to home. We have 111 miles left, and then we're going to kick it on into the office on Monday. One of the big things that we noticed after having spent so far about 6 or 7 hours or so in the car is that the Nexo makes a really great road trip car. Whether this was a gasoline vehicle or an electric vehicle or a hydrogen vehicle, none of that has to do with the way that the Nexo rides. And Hyundai has definitely decided to tune this to a little bit softer of a ride than some of those other competitors out there in the mid-size crossover segment like this. This is a little bit softer than something like a Chevy Blazer, and it's very quiet in the cabin. This is one of the quietest mid-size crossovers that we've tested.